Previously on Paranormal Horizons.
This isn't a directional audio. It's coming from every direction. Not 100 feet from where one of them's located, we found track. It's wedged between 6 trees.
We are getting tons of erratic readings.
Close to the exit of the woods.
Negative.
Yeah, we're getting orbs down here.
17.3, 13.6. We're all over the place right here.
So we just took the computer down.
Yeah, as soon as we took the computer down, all the stuff started.
And I told you, it wasn't, we got it on camera.
Yeah.
The spectrum analyzer was not doing anything.
Right.
He asked for it, remember?
Off the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
What?
It's gone.
Holy crap, it is.
3 shots, right?
Yeah, aim it up. Whoa!
What just happened? Since some of the data we have gathered so far may seem to show a possible consciousness at work within the phenomena, we decided to conduct a few experiments. Now, this type of interaction has yielded results in the past.
He's trying to send a signal again.
32, 33, 34.
Can you tell us exactly what time that happened?
Right now.
Adam sent a signal approximately 3 seconds before you contacted us. Right there it is. Every time we talk about this,
It comes back.
whatever's out here, whatever that's going on out here, these things are aware
They're aware
of
of
what
it.
we're talking about. Though it may sound strange, this is not a new concept. In fact, it was proposed long ago and by many, many different researchers. In fact, the government took this possibility sort of seriously. In the 70s, retired U.S. Army Colonel John B. Alexander was in charge of research into non-lethal alternatives, which focused on psychic development for military applications. In this research, he coined the phrase precognitive sentient phenomena to explain the complexity of the interactions with whatever was behind some of these encounters. John believed that we were dealing with a trickster element, which was not only in full control of these encounters, but already knew how the witness would react to them. Early researchers in the UFO community were also coming to the same conclusions about these possible relationships between paranormal experiences and the UFO phenomena. They suggested that if there was an intelligence at play, then there should be a way to establish a form of contact with it. To test this consciousness idea, we set up equipment to monitor any kind of radio interference that may respond to our stimulant. This is known as an ITC session. ITC is an abbreviation for Instrumental Transcommunication. The term originated with Dr. Ernest Sinkowski, a professor of physics and an electrical engineer. In the 1970s, he tested various electronic devices, such as audio recorders, fax machines, and even televisions, in attempts to communicate with the so-called other side. Today, paranormal investigators use many different forms of sensitive meters for ITC sessions. There is evidence that seems to show a form of communication at times, but the fact remains, we really have no idea what we may actually be communicating with. And given recent talks about non-human intelligence, we have to ask ourselves, could we possibly be dealing with the same unseen intelligence? All right, let's see if anything happens out there now. All right, you have our undivided attention at this point. Multiple things for you to communicate with.
Hey, Beth, come here.
Yes.
Tell us about how and where you caught the orbs.
I was on my porch and I was looking up towards the old house and seeing.
We've had results in the past that seem to indicate that whatever this was aware of when it was being addressed. So we decided to let Beth tell a few stories to see if we could elicit a response.
And it was really, really bright. And I kept getting closer to it, and finally it just like twizzled out and went its way and vanished.
How did that make you feel?
Joe's question here may be very relevant to this particular experiment. When dealing with subject B, our hypothesis is that emotion may somehow elicit responses from the phenomena. We have no idea how this works, only that it seems to have been observed in several cases.
Try to think about how you felt, like literally make yourself feel that. It's not deviating very much at all. The spectrum is not deviating hardly at all. It is the same frequencies over and over again. There's nothing anomalous that's taking place. That in itself is an anomaly right here. Because this should not just be sitting here, but it is.
And as if to prove me wrong, just as I was about to wrap this experiment up, everything changed.
Okay, what's going on? Talk to me.
We've got a 9.8, 9.6, 17.3, 13.6. We're all over the place right here on the tri-field.
Holy crap, I see that.
And it's not the hardware.
Prove it to
See,
me.
right here.
Okay.
1.8. Put it right on top of the spectrum analyzer. It's 2.
This is a spectrum analyzer. What was that? The analyzer just picked up that spike.
It's been spiking.
It's been throwing spikes.
Oh, wow.
It's not the Jackery.
So we just took the computer down.
Yeah, as soon as we took the computer down, all the stuff started.
And I told you, it wasn't, we got it on camera.
Yeah,
The spectrum analyzer was not doing anything.
right.
But what was Ron saying? He
But
said
now
shows
we're
us
now we're at
something.
0.5.
He asked for it, remember?
0.13, 0.
I did ask for it. and we were definitely getting something.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm getting recorded.
1.6. We just hit a 1.6.
What?
Yeah, we just got a 1.6. It was fleeting. So we're starting to get the signal.
So we're starting to get the signal, and we've also got it right here. We can see it right here.
Yeah.
We could definitely see the signal pulsing. But then something really strange took place.
And everything just a moment ago was wild as could be. The night was alive. Amphibians and birds, all the like, were doing their thing. And now, nothing. Got a lone peeper out here now.
Yeah, but it got
just started.
dead quiet.
Frogs are starting to come back one species by species.
That's really bizarre.
Okay, start a new recording.
Okay, point it out that way. What was that?
He's happy, yeah.
What was that?
A bird that shouldn't be making noise at this time of night.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a warbler.
Quiet.
Something spooked it.
Everything's quiet again.
Warblers live in brushy trees. They don't, or like in the scrub brush. They don't live and roost in the upper canopies. They stay in the scrub brush. So something was moving through the scrub brush, but something just spooked that warbler. I mean, you're talking, when I say scrub brush, I'm saying like, 3 to 4 feet
Is that a-
off the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it ain't.
What? What?
It's gone.
Holy crap, it is.
All right, Joe.
Okay. It's light time.
Thinking back about our history, especially in West Virginia,
Let's dial it back.
let's dial it back.
Getting the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, let's go back to this whole non-human intelligence thing because,
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're testing for right now.
Right,
This is definitely subject B,
Yeah, this is subject B. Straight down the pipe.
straight up. So, John Keel.
Yeah.
and the flashlight method.
John Keel had an uncommon mind. Some people may not realize, but John Keel actually did a set of experiments with a flashlight. He began on March 31st of 1967. He went out to Gallipolis Ferry, West Virginia, and he went up on a hill, and there was some boys there that were, drinking and having a campfire, and he asked them politely to put that out because he wanted to watch for flying saucers, that sort of thing. And while his buddy was talking to them and getting that put out, he walked off into the dark, and he noticed a purplish blob off in the sky. And he had a flashlight. He said it was a 6-battery high beam flashlight, and he shone it up at the purplish blob, and it went up and out of sight. So the next night, on April 1st, yes, April Fools comes to mind, but on April 1st, he came down there with Mary Hire, and he needed a witness. And this night they saw a red light, and she was able to confirm that when he shone the light at it, it reacted, it moved away. He thought, but there's got to be something more to it here. So the next night they came out, and he had a plan to communicate with it. So he gets out the next night, and there's lots of multicolored lights out there this night. He's not only got the purple blobs and flashing reds, there's just lights of all different colors out there. Every time he moves his beam around, they just kind of move away in reaction. And at some point he decides, I'm going to send them a message. So in Morse code, he flashes descend. And to his surprise, one of the red ones starts falling like a leaf and starts descending. And Mary High was there to see it again. And they were really excited about that. They were overjoyed about that. And he thought, there's so, if I can get them to communicate back, maybe we can start something here. But, April 2nd went into 1:35 a.m. on April the 3rd. And suddenly he sees a big orb. And he says it was he says it burned itself into his memory. But it came at him, it was huge, it was big, it came at him fast, and he ran for his car as fast as he could and locked the doors. He says, I haven't been afraid of anything. That scared me. But it didn't scare him enough, apparently, because as it turns out, he has notebooks that we see now, and he actually sent several letters to them. These are some of the messages that John Keel tried himself to send. He sent just the letter K, Keel, peace, please, move, which is a pretty good thing to try and see if I can independently get it to move instead of shining my flashlight. That's a pretty good experiment. Descend, let us meet, we seek contact. Those were some of the messages that John Keel actually ended up trying to send. He also received messages, but you'll notice that some of the letters are wrong. Like in beware, we're actually missing a B. There's an X there instead. And it says beware of danger, but there's actually an I there instead of an N. So there is some disconnection. If it's an actual communication, there is some disconnection, but that's a very good degree of accuracy for anything trying to flash back.
Let's give it a shot. I brought a monster light, okay?
Oh man,
So-
here I was thinking you're just gonna have one of your regular high-powered
No.
flashlights.
No.
You got a monster this time.
God, a better one than that. I've got a period authentic light.
Oh,
So this thing is actually from the era,
nice.
and it's an old flashlight that they used to use for movie cameras. This thing is a real bulb. So we're gonna light this whole area up.
Nice.
That's what we're gonna do.
Nice.
So
That'll be fun.
Let's plug this thing in and see what it does. We've never did this before.
No,
this is first. So
I don't think that I've seen this thing fired up.
it could be interesting.
Okay.
It may even blow up. I don't know. But let's see what happens.
All right, so walk out this way.
All right.
All right, that's all the length we got.
That's
Let's are you ready?
Oh yeah.
This is old school ufology.
Yep.
Modern day. We'll see how it works. Don't aim it at me.
Don't worry. Turn it on. 3 shots, right?
Yeah, aim it up. Blast it. Whoa.
What just happened?
Oh, it blew the switch.
Oh, how, check the power level.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, that fell.
Maybe we're not supposed to do this.
I think we just fried the surge protector
Oh,
because
what?
it's not even. Yeah.
Seriously? Well, now.
With our surge protector blown, we decided to try to use another method.
Let's do the laser.
There's no planes above me, right? Straight above, yeah, straight top. Nothing up there? I'm firing 3 shots.
We use our laser only in open, clear skies.
You getting
We
anything?
never point at any other light in the sky. Do not do this. It could be an aircraft, and if it is, you are in serious trouble.
Yeah, I hear it.
As we conducted the laser experiment, something else started to happen on the ground. We started to hear movement in the brush around us, and then the thermal picked up something that seemed to be peeking over a ridgeline in the distance.
See, it's like it's hiding. Whatever that is. Oh. See?
What is it?
There's a heat signature, but there's a lot of brush around it.
I think it's something little. I'm zoomed in.
What is that? I don't know, but that's moving. It just moved.
And at this point, we started to hear what sounded like movement to our right and to our left, all around us.
See anything? Lights on.
Something was around us. The fact that everything went silent definitely indicated that we were not alone out there.
Noises are coming from here and that area.
As Joe was trying to pinpoint where the sounds were coming from, I got notice that back at the table, things were going crazy with some of the equipment. So I ran back over there and tried to document it. But as soon as I got there, everything just seemed to stop.
Signal stopped as soon as I came over here and noticed it. It was going off the chart.
Once again, it was like something was messing with us.
Nothing.
All right, it's time.
All right, we're going to go back out there under the weird tree anomaly, and we're going to take the spectrum analyzer with us, and we're going to see if we can pinpoint that signal and see what's out there.
Yep.
Get the comms, make sure the comms work for everybody, and yeah, we'll be in constant communication. You guys stay back here and keep it, watch the sky and watch the area.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we go up, turn right.
This way, right?
Yeah, follow that.
I thought. Wrong way.
Yeah, we're on the island. We're almost there. Keep going. Follow me. Here we are.
We moved back into the area of the weird tree anomaly. I wanted to try to isolate that strange RF signal that we picked up earlier.
Let's go up here.
This time I brought along the spectrum analyzer, along with the other pieces of equipment that we had.
See if it can isolate the signal. Very cool. Let me turn this off. Okay, so we're here. And we came back to see if we could isolate this weird RF signal coming through here. So we brought the spectrum analyzer. Now,
Zero? Yeah. Dead zero.
but let me step into the area here. There we go.
And just like before, the signal was only around that strange tree structure.
Oh, it's not going to read the numbers from there.
Right, good point. So it's from 800 up. That's where it's at. So 800 megahertz. 1.4.
1.6?
I saw it.
Did you say the 1.6?
1.6. There's 1.57.
We're trying to replicate the readings that we received earlier tonight. Yet.
Right now. Definitely something in that low 800 range. That's. See that?
Yeah. That's pretty consistent. Look at the drop over here.
It's 827 megahertz, which is weird. There shouldn't be anything up here. See, that falls off right there. Right here.
That is so strange. It's like a small window.
It is. There's a huge, like 800 megahertz right here, which is interesting.
800 megahertz is not anomalous. What's interesting is the fact that you have barely any cell phone service out here. Something was definitely creating that signal. And in my opinion, it was probably the Bluetooth on one of our phones or on the cameras.
I don't know what's going on up here. Yeah, 59.
That, on the other hand, that was a little bit anomalous.
Going on up here. This is just weird.
Hey guys, we have gotten the signal here. We're getting the signal here in bursts. They're coming through real thin and sudden. Have you guys been having any strange activity down there yet?
Yeah, everything's quiet, but we hear like stuff everywhere.
Copy that.
This shouldn't be happening.
Speaking of things that shouldn't happen,
We're hitting 36 spots. 21, 36, 22. It says the average is 1.62. It's going up. The average is actually going up. 19.61.
Well, are there any other experiments you can think of that we could do while we're right here?
I'll say we do.
now the laser experiment we conducted before coming up here seemed to give some strange results with that weird thermal hit off in the distance. So I wanted to try it on this hillside where these orbs have been seen.
Flash. 3 flashes. 2 flash back that way. You ready?
You got a steady 36. Set for a second.
I'm not going to fit this. Oh, it is fitting this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
access point.
Maybe
Negative. We're underneath the structure.
conducting laser experiment.
You always see laser.
That's us.
You did. That's Ron shooting green laser.
Kind of turn this up. We dropped.
It dropped.
Majorly.
Yep. Way down.
What? Oh, that's its own right. Oh, look at this. We had a drop out in the signal. See that?
6. We just hit a 1.6.
Well, we had look. There's no data here.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Maybe the SA rebooted itself or refreshed the signal.
Okay.
Maybe.
That would be for several seconds. Several seconds of no data on all frequency bands. Okay.
We keep bouncing up into 1.6.
There's 1.6 right there.
Yeah.
We'll do this again. 1.6.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yep.
1.64. Same direction.
Nope.
Oh, there it was.
There it was.
1.64.
It just popped up.
1.64.
Yeah. Well,
I did it 3 times. Now I'm not going to do it at all.
I wanted to try a control for this experiment. If it was just a repeating pattern, we should get the same signal again, regardless if I flashed the actual laser or just went through the motions.
so does the laser test work the same way horizontal as it does vertical?
That's a good question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Does it matter if you point it to the sky?
Well, these bursts you've been shooting have been at the hillside.
I know. Because that's where they saw the orbs.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. Let's try the sky. I'd say that's no response. It's 1.4s, 1.5s normal, 1.52s. Firing it at the hillside. $1.59. 1.602.
Okay.
That's enough for me.
So the 1.6 frequency range
Wow.
is supposed to be like
Restricted.
it is restricted for sure. It's blacked out. You're not allowed to broadcast on it. Now
1.62 as you're talking about this.
it's reserved for communication, interstellar to Earth communication.
Right. Satellite.
So satellite communication back and forth. But we shouldn't be getting that reading here
No.
at all.
Shouldn't. But this is what happened to us down there
It is.
by the rock that day when we said
Right.
we could recreate it. We recreated it that day. You know what the conclusion was?
Yeah.
That something was aware of us doing that
Right.
and was responding by somehow raising this frequency. Now, how in the world is it broadcasting this frequency? I can't tell you that.
Because the only way, if we didn't have one of these spectrum analyzers, we wouldn't
You would
even be
never
able to
know
detect
this.
that signal.
You would never know this.
Right.
Just like we would never know that this radiation went up to 36 CPMs.
Yeah.
And now it's going up to 27, 28 CPMs.
30s.
Was it in the 30s?
32.
Oh, I see it. 31, 32. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we
33.
talk about this stuff,
It seems to respond.
I don't
That's what is so
I
bizarre
don't know
about
what to do
this.
about that. I really don't know. what to do with this.
Every test we've tried,
Hold on a second.
every test we've tried has yielded to varying degrees, but when we begin to acknowledge the phenomena,
Hang on.
when we begin to talk about it, and we begin to reference the exchanges we've had, etc., then we usually get some kind of feedback.
It's a feedback. I mean, it's a feedback. It seems to be acutely aware of, there it is, in giant letters. It's climbing, now it's going down, 26. But it was at 30 something there for a second.
It's so bizarre.
It is really bizarre. There is nothing logical about flashing a laser at a hillside
Yeah, right.
that should make a frequency appear. There's nothing logical about that. And if anyone can explain it, I'm come
All
on.
ears.
I'm all ears on this one. I'm
Because we're
telling you-
not near any L-band radio
No.
signal. We're not near like any kind of L-band radar.
No,
We're nowhere near a river
no,
that would even be sufficient enough to carry a barge.
no. There's no barge sweeping, radar
There's-
sweeps, nothing.
There's
like
no radar sweeps anywhere in this like region.
that. Like, what is going on around here? This does not make any sense to me at all. But like I said, I'm all ears. If anyone's got any ideas on what's going on, I'm not telling you what this is, or it was 1.61, and I got it. I'm not telling you what this is, only that this is.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
It's bizarre.
But we got our data and said we head back to base camp.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Sufficiently strange.
I agree.
The readings that we got out here the first time compared to the instigated responses that we've been getting just over the last few minutes.
It's just crazy. I surely don't understand it. But it looks like our battery's going to die over there.
Yeah. Low battery.
The battery won't.
All right.
Okay.
Back to base camp.
Back to base camp.
Well, with our batteries dying, it was time to head back to base camp and debrief on everything we had experienced up there.
Off we go.
But there was more surprises in store.
Should I point this behind us? Right? Maybe not a bad idea, actually. I'm going to do that. This is probably a bad idea. Hey, hold up. No, never mind. Thought I saw feather. What?
Eyes right there.
I see him.
It's wee something.
Huh?
It's little.
Is it though?
Unfortunately, the full spectrum could not get enough resolution to bring those little eyes out.
The problem is it's little, Joe. We'll talk about it when we get back to base. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Talking about the little people.
We ain't saying nothing out here right now. Talk about it when we get back down there.
The frog shut up when I said it.
Yeah, I know. We're not.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't so little. It would have been about this high where my hand is. Because I could see over top
Yeah,
of
it was
this.
right here.
It was over top of the metal structure.
Yeah, it was right here. It was literally right here.
Because I could see the metal.
Yeah. I got an above background radiation, but it ain't that far above. I mean, it's 16 here, 15 here, but down there it's 22. I don't know. Something's telling me to get out of these woods right now, though. That's kind of weird. Because I don't usually care. Joe, when I just did that, we got a signal drop out.
I see that.
You see that line?
Yeah, the black line
Yeah.
right by the thumb.
Yeah.
Signal blackout.
That means there was no signal in all spectrums
In our immediate vicinity.
when I was right there,
Yeah.
in that area, where you saw the eyes. All right, so before we leave this area,
Yeah.
let's talk about what just happened back there.
Like what just happened on the way out?
Yeah.
Well, we're leaving the tree anomaly
Yep.
where we had received the strange signals,
Yep.
and I had my headlamp in my hand, and spotted a set of eyes.
And I had the phasm facing behind us because I said, oh, it might be a good idea to face this behind us.
Right.
As soon as I faced it behind us, no more than maybe 10 seconds,
There were eyes right there, and I thought that they were low to the ground. They appeared to be like right at the ground, but I saw this old tree stand that had fallen. We actually shot that in the daylight earlier today.
That's right.
And it was just to the left of those. So when we made it all the way up, obviously the eyes and stuff were gone, but we had made it up to the damaged tree stand. And where the eyes were to the tree stand would have been more around the 3-foot range. Yeah.
3.5 foot range.
Yeah.
And so I checked that with the Geiger counter. Now, it wasn't anything off the charts.
Right.
But whereas we had 15 over here, it was 22 there.
But that's not the strangest part.
Nope.
You had a complete signal blackout across the analyzer.
As I bent down to take that radiation reading, spectrum analyzer literally lost all frequency ranges, all from one.
Like somebody had just yanked the antenna out.
Yeah. Yeah, all the way. That's not normal.
No.
And that happened for just a few seconds while I was bent down there. Now, the crazy thing is when we're flashing the laser,
Yeah,
we were getting on 1.6.
we were.
1, 2, 3, 1.6.
Something was communicating back.
Not only that, we got the radiation spike just like we did down here at this rock when we were here before.
It was almost identical to
It was
what
the
happened.
exact same thing that happened before.
A little white thing walking beside of it. So like it's just strange, like just weird things.
What we got?
1.6.
Something was aware of us doing that. I did it 3 times. It worked. And I did a control where I didn't flash at all. Nothing happened. I even did one where I shot straight up in the air. Nothing happened.
It was only when they were
Shot
horizontal
back on the
shots.
horizontal shots onto the hillsides where everybody had seen these orbs. And we got a 1.6 on that. And we got a 33 CPM rise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know
That's
what to
the
make of that.
data, and that's all I can say about it. Doesn't matter. It's just reporting it for what it is.
Yeah, everything goes on the table, and this is one of those nights where we've had several anomalies.
Very strange.
We've had various readings.
Yeah.
We've had some noises that we can't explain. There have been some,
Chatter, laughter. I don't know what it was. Yeah,
and also some things captured on the thermal.
that's right. There's some things moving around here.
Yeah.
So
And they were small-ish, which it could be a raccoon, it could be
Could
a
be.
possum, it could have been anything. We
Yeah.
did have some food out here earlier.
absolutely.
But with everything else going on, it has to go on the table.
It
You
has to
can't
go
throw
on
it
the
out.
table. Exactly. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, our light experiment didn't work. The power was just a little too much.
Just a little much.
little much.
It
but,
kept blowing the fuse.
but that's okay because we did get response with the laser.
Yeah.
And that means the next time we're gonna have a bigger laser.
That's right.
We're definitely
We need to
gonna
get
have
one of
a
those big
We're gonna
boys.
have a big laser.
Yeah.
So I want to repeat that experiment again in the future with a very big laser.
Before we left, we wanted to go up and have a look at the old house. Now, there had been some interesting reports of things seen up here as well, but it's also in the same area where those first orbs had been seen. Could they have been caused by a reflection off of the windows? Maybe there's a power source up here. Okay, so there's allegedly things have been seen up here, right? Orbs. I'm just looking, seeing if there's like any kind of reflective surface or anything, right?
Those are the only reflective surfaces I've seen.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not orange.
And then obviously the glass.
Yeah, but that's not orange either.
And those haven't had juice in them forever, so there's no way it would have been light. But look at the old meter.
Oh wow, what is that?
That is an old style. Basically bringing in power off of a power line.
Huh. Yeah, there's no meter to it.
No,
Wow.
that's chewed up.
Yeah. That's interesting. Huh. There's a big old hornet's nest.
Something's torn it open too. See?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's been predated on.
There's nothing here though that would do what they said was done, right? Now there was a few instances where something rather dark had been seen up here on game cam.
There's an obvious trail here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bear size. It's not me or you size.
probably is a bear. What's that? It must have been a moth flew in front of the thing. I guess. I don't know.
The electricity hasn't been cut here too terribly long. There's only CFL board right here.
I keep thinking I see a light there. It's weird. I actually did see a light here, but I didn't see it until I went back and looked at it in review. Now, could that be a light off in the distance from someone's house? Since I didn't really see it clear enough, and we didn't follow up on an investigation of it at the site, this is what I have to rule this as. It's weird. What is it?
The electricity hasn't been cut too long. There's a CFL bulb.
There it is. But, yeah, it's dead.
Got a wire line here too.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's on that.
Do see that. Where's that? Oh, that's cut in two, dude.
I know.
Yeah, that's cut.
Oh, it's still tied. It's just the insulation's peeling back.
Yeah, there's no
Because it's
power.
just looks like 3/0.
Yeah.
It's like he running a home.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
It's tied off to that pole.
Yeah, it looks like I don't see anything. It could be like a reflective surface
No.
or anything up here. This is just an old house. I don't see any reason for there to be reflections. I mean, there's windows, but they ain't, it's going to reflect, there's no light. When they were chasing those orbs, there was no light involved.
No.
And they were orange, so you're not getting orange lights up here.
No.
There's just nothing here. So I don't know. Given all the strange occurrences that take place here at Wineberry, it makes us look at more exotic possibilities for these answers. Portals, dimensional shifts, things that sound like science fiction. Back in John Keel's day, he called these window areas.
In John Keel's Strange Creatures from Time and Space, he came up, or he finally revealed, I should say, a theory that he'd been working on thanks to all of his earlier research into UFOs, Mothman, and the Men in Black, and monsters, and everything else. And that was the idea of window areas. He had come up with this idea that these things occur at certain times and places, and where you would just be going along, minding your own business, and something would activate one of these window areas. And next thing you know, you're seeing a big one-eyed alien stepping out of a spaceship, or you would find yourself faced with Bigfoot, or you would see orbs or something along those lines. But they happened at certain times and place. But the idea was always that it required a certain conditions of time and space, and it had to do with electromagnetism or some other force that was being tapped into. He debated on whether people dealing with the 4D hypothesis, that we would call interdimensional or extra-dimensional hypothesis, was true, or maybe it was just something we were manifesting as a tulpa. Jacques Vallée and John Keel hit upon this idea that just like a storyteller tells a story and the characters become alive to us somehow, that sometimes we're creating tulpas. And that's literally what we're doing. We imagine something to be, and it becomes in some sense real. But they believe that in Keel especially, that in these window areas, that they were actually becoming real. They were becoming real enough to leave footprints. They were becoming real enough to interact with the environment. Tolkien described it as mythopoeia, and he believed that, the stories we create literally were different realities, right? So that there actually is a dimension where the Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth actually exist, and not just exist the way that he wanted them to exist, but the way that you imagine them right now, because we're all sort of co-creators on this thing. The idea is that by creating these sort of tulpas, what we're doing is we're bringing together things in our imagination, subconsciously, of course. We're not like doing magic and trying to conjure Bigfoot, because if it was that easy, we would have done it, But subconsciously, we're bringing something while we're in one of these activated window areas that exists in our imagination, and the way that we think that it will come to light. That's why you can have Bigfoot that are perfectly natural and just act like bears, basically, but they're Bigfoot. And you can have other Bigfoot that are holding magical staffs, and they have an army of dwarves behind them holding open a portal, because at some layer, we do imagine different things. At least subconsciously, we have an idea what we want this to be like.
Wineberry seldom disappoints. We had a lot to go over. We had new leads. We had new data. We had new ideas. It's time to meet back at headquarters to go over everything and put it all on the table.
Back to Wineberry.
Back to Wineberry. This place is strange. I've never experienced what we experienced on this trip before, and I've had some strange things happen.
There's weird things out there.
Remember
the signal the first time we were there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've seen strange lights elsewhere, and I've had other strange phenomena
I gotta
happen.
ask you about that, because we did see orbs out there, and we got them. But did this compare to the first time you saw your orb when you were out with Finding Bigfoot?
Well, the paradigm shift had already occurred.
Okay.
I'd already kind of crossed that threshold.
The first time it was the ontological shock. Right?
Yes, it was. Oh crap! This is real.
Oh, I remember the phone call.
And so now when it happens, it's kind of banked and it's already there. And I try to when we have these experiences out on investigations, I consciously, thanks to years of training from the military and just life in general, not responding when something happens. Taking it in. When something happens, acknowledging it, but assessing everything that's going on right now. So that way I don't miss something, right? So when we have these strange phenomena happen, like I'll normally, wait, stop, you know? And I don't want to get excited. I don't get overly like, oh, unless the whippoorwill disappears right in front of me.
I've seen you guys get a little.
The whippoorwill did that. That got me. But this was different. You know, we set up base camp right next to the trackway. Now, right here where we're at, you can see the yellow marker is where we recovered the first Wineberry track, and we were about 20 paces away where we set base camp up. Beth has recovered a track up there near where the tree anomaly zone is. Now, this tree anomaly zone, we went out, we found it. That was weird, and that was one of the places that something really strange happened, and I don't have any words for it. This was a new experience for me.
Yeah, the tree is very weird.
Yeah.
So I have that, and we can see that.
All right, so it's wedged between 6 trees. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of contact. So, okay, normally I don't get too excited about tree structure stuff because, like, why? Honestly, I don't know. There's not really a whole bunch of basis behind it. With the nests, okay, I get it. I can get behind the Olympic Project nest stuff, but when it comes to things like trees stacked in trees, I don't get it. But this one
Go on the other side of it.
is
Go on the other side of it.
this is
Look at this. How it's wedged in there.
wedged in. I don't know if I can capture it right now.
Over that way you can.
There we go.
See it?
That is way up there. Like that's like I can't touch it. It's
no
10.
way.
It's 8.5, like 9 feet, easy.
How?
Yeah, I have no explanation for this. I looked for a dead stump where a tree could have rotten and just, storm damage fallen in. But I mean, you're talking perfect storm. This thing fell between 6 trees and just stuck there. There was no stump. There was
The
nothing.
stump would have had to have been 4 or 5 feet tall. It would have had to have been broken off
Yeah.
up here and fell in. This thing was high.
And
you
it was-
couldn't touch it.
It was placed there. The only thing I could say is that this thing was manually positioned.
In this vicinity to where this tree was. We had several things happen. So let's look at this one first.
Position.
Yeah.
And where we'll. Did you hear that? We were standing underneath the tree structure when that occurred, and all of a sudden, boom, then it happened.
That weird whooshing sound is consistent with some other weird stuff
Right, it is.
throughout the years.
Yeah.
And
It goes into subject B.
it definitely goes into subject B. There's been a lot of metallic sounds heard in the woods. We've talked to multiple people on our lives, on the Wild Weird Radio Live. We had people, we actually asked the question, oh yeah, I've heard that. That's
Yeah.
the first time I've heard about that. What, you guys have heard that too? Like this happens.
Yeah.
There is a weird metallic sound, and a lot of times it's associated with UAP, with other phenomena, and we also had this happen near the tree again, by the way. That clicking sound. So I'm going to ask you right now, is there an animal that we can attribute this to?
There are some birds that can make a drumming sound. I went through and I listened to a lot of Merlin recordings and stuff that's from one of the other major universities that has a bird audio database, and I couldn't find anything that matched that. And
What about a squirrel?
no. Squirrels do make a lot of random noises, but this sound wasn't a squirrel.
I agree with you. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out.
No, yeah,
This is what's going to come up.
right. You've got to answer those questions because that's what people want to know. They're gonna postulate. They're gonna ask, well, could it
As
have been
they
this?
should.
Could it have been this? Could have been this? And this one was strange. It was very odd. There is squirrel chatter. where you can hear that. It's like a teeth grinding and clicking sound, but it's more of a bark than what this was.
It is totally like that. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
And what was really weird was, I felt at one point, and I even called it out, that we were being surrounded up there.
Yeah.
And that we were being flanked. And I was very uneasy about that. And I remember telling you, it's like, Joe, it's right here, it's right here. And you're looking at me with the thermal, and you're like, there's nothing there, there's nothing there. I just see you in the tree.
Yeah.
But I heard something right behind me. I mean, it was there, just as plain as you're sitting right here.
Right.
That's when I grabbed the camera and I said, okay, subject B, it must be this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but there was something up there. Let's talk about this.
Tell me that is not the same thing that we saw, except for this is in a much bigger form.
Oh yeah, I mean it almost looks identical. You've got the way the branches are bent and woven into themselves and purposefully twisted. And this is coming off of one trunk. These aren't